Hi guys, to another episode. Today we're gonna learn something new, something that I didn't even know about. So make sure you stay till the end.
Woodpeckers spend their days drumming on tree trunks, but their skulls and brains somehow stay safe and sound. That's because their beak and skull have many layers and some parts of them are soft and absorb the shock. Scientists noticed this on CT scans of the birds' heads and use that knowledge to build a mechanical shock-absorbing system for micro-devices. They can also use it to make insulation material for spaceships and protect football players from injuries. The pyramids are considered one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. The Giza Pyramid complex was built as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu around 4,500 years ago. Between 20 to 30,000 people took part in the construction process. It's composed of three pyramids. The massive monument is made out of approximately 1,000 tons of granite and over 550,000 tons of mortar, which gives it the appearance it has today. Would you believe me if I told you that the pyramids didn't always look like this? Far from it, they were shiny white with a golden triangular tip at the top. This is because the Egyptians used over 6 million tons of limestone to cover the entire rocky step-like structure, also that they could gleam white. Under the unforgiving sunlight of Egyptian skies, the Pyramid of Khufu remained the tallest structure on Earth made by humans for over 3,800 years. It was the only eight-sided pyramid in Egypt and was believed to align with Orion's belt. It's considered to be the most aligned construction facing north. In 1979, it was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Everyone loves a good landmark, the Roman Colosseum, the ancient city of Machu Picchu, the Giza Pyramids. But have you ever wondered how it once looked way back in the days when they were built, or even in the time they were covered in ivy and forgotten by humanity? Buckle up, because we're heading on a time travel adventure to the world's greatest archaeological sites. Our voyage begins in South America deep. Inside the Peruvian mountains, behold the city of Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is a monument to the ingenuity and power of the Inca civilization. During its prime, the Inca civilization stretched 2,500 miles along South America's coastline from modern-day Ecuador all the way down to Chile, and Machu Picchu was located at the heart and center of it. The historic site was constructed at around 7,000 feet above sea level, more or less around 1450 BCE. The gated city consisted of around 150 buildings made of stone. The Incas managed to build temples, houses, and even a complex aqueduct system to irrigate the entire town. And yes, they did all that without the help of wheels or any instrument made of iron. The majority of us have believed for a really long time that Stonehenge, one of the most iconic monuments in the world, was an ancient calendar, because of its alignment with the summer and winter solstice but no one could figure out how it really worked. Now a team of researchers have come up with another study. It turns out that Stonehenge could have functioned like the solar calendar. It's a similar principle to the solar calendar. Ancient Egyptians used to have the one based on a year composed of 365.25 days. Each of the stones from this big mysterious Sarsam circle represented one day within a month, so our sins are what we call these large boulders. It's actually a perpetual calendar where people could track every winter solstice sunset. That way those who live near Stonehenge, which is today Wiltshire, UK, could keep track of the days and months of the year. We all now understand this mysterious calendar system. Because of this interesting discovery in 2020, the team has identified the source of 50 of the 52 sources that make up the iconic stone circle we all know about. They analyzed the chemical composition of these sources and traced their origins to the West Woods in Wiltshire, which is about 15 miles away from the monument. Not only did these 50 sources come from the same source, but they were also placed in their current position at approximately the same time. Greece was home to one of the world's largest empires. At the height of this empire, literally and historically speaking, more or less, 2,400 years ago, the Greeks built a citadel known as the Acropolis. The Acropolis, which is composed of historical buildings, is considered to be one of the biggest landmarks of Western civilization to date. Tourists that visit the capital city of Athens today may be faced with yellowish and broken pillars of the Parthenon, standing way up high in one of the city's hills, but way back when it was built between 447 and 432 BCE, the imposing and majestic Parthenon was purely white, as the entire monument was built with gleaming white marble. The statues inside were made of gold. The Parthenon is a 23,000 square foot temple, held up by 69 marble columns. The largest blocks of marble are massive, weighing around 10 tons each. And the most surprising fact is that the marble didn't come from Athens, but from a nearby site that stood 10 miles from the Acropolis known as Mount Penta. Leccan, historians intrigued by where the primary material for building the Acropolis came from, found tiny and big blocks of marble all scattered around the floor of Mountain Pencil Icon. There is also a paved road that the Greeks had built to carry the rocks around. But perhaps the most impacting monuments of all times is located at the heart of the Middle East, outside the Egyptian city of Cairo. Still in the Italian territory, we find one of the world's biggest tourist attractions, the Roman Colosseum. It was built as an amphitheater during the reign of Emperor Vespasian around 70 AD. It wasn't until 80 AD that Vespasian's son, Emperor Titus, inaugurated the Colosseum. The monument was something to behold, with 157-foot-tall walls over at entrances and the capacity to host 87,000 people. All social classes and groups were welcome at the Colosseum, and this partly explains why it flourished for so many centuries. During the decline of the Roman Empire around the 6th century AD, the Colosseum started being neglected and abandoned. The monument was looted, and some of its columns and stones were used to build infrastructure elsewhere. Only 1/3 of the original Colosseum still remains. And if it's big now, imagine what it once was. Now, not all attempts at biomimicry are equally successful. In the late 1990s, Mercedes-Benz was looking for a new design idea of an aerodynamic, safe, efficient, and maneuverable car. They thought a boxfish would be a perfect role model. It resists the flow of water and stays on its course even in the rough sea. Well, what worked well in the sea didn't work out for a car. It turned out to be super unstable. Hey, it wasn't failure. They just learned one more way that it didn't work and went on to try the next thing. Lobsters are delicious. They also have a unique vision. Their islands are like flat mirrors that don't bend light but reflect it at many different angles. Scientists use this principle in building telescopes that can focus from different angles in space. A lobster's vision also inspired X-ray devices that can see even through a thick steel wall. Today I mentioned lobsters are delicious. Let's head on down to the Indian city of Agra to quickly visit the Taj Mahal. You may know it as the Taj, but it can also be called by its more endearing name, a teardrop in the cheek of time. The Taj took over 22 years to build and was commissioned in 1632 by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan as a declaration of love for his third and favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. It was made with ivory white marble, and amazingly, due to tight conservation, it still remains very similar to what it was when it was built.
So I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe, even a comment. I don't mind. It will help me create more content. I see you soon again.